Yo, what's up guys? We got pokeaimMD here. Today we have another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl moveset video guide on how to use VICTREEBEL. Now, I really like this Pokemon a lot. It's a fun sun Pokemon and it does have a niche over Venusaur. Venusaur currently does not have access to its Weather Ball move. I'm assuming you'll get it again after Pokemon Home comes out for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl or whatever will happen with that. But that means that as a Sun Sweeper with a Chlorophyll user, VICTREEBEL has a nice little niche. Because it can go for Weather Ball, and with Scizor being the #1 used Pokemon right now and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, having that 4 times effective Weather Ball in the sun is really nice. So I like this Pokemon. If you guys do enjoy these moveset video guides, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Let me know which Pokemon you want to see next. I'm getting through a bunch of them. Don't worry, I'm going to keep going through them, and eventually I will have a giant video where I just go through every single Pokemon in itself. That's available in the tier, of course, that are fully evolved. But yeah, also if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm on my way to 300k and you guys can help me get there. I upload 2 to 3 videos for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl a day. Sometimes Wi-Fi battles, moveset video guys, showdown lives, whatever I want to do. And yeah, y'all can enjoy the content. But the first set we have is my favorite Sun Sweeper set, and it is the Growth Mix set. So if you guys didn't know, Growth in the sun, Growth normally does +1 attack and +1 special attack, but in the sun it does +2 attack and +2 special attack. So it's amazing on Sun Sweepers like VICTREEBEL with the Chlorophyll, which let it double its speed in the sun. So obviously you're going to need a sun starter to use this Pokemon, either a Torkoal, a Ninetales, if you're playing Ubers, a Groudon, or maybe something with Sunny Day and a Heat Rock. But we go Naughty Nature plus attack. Now the reason we're doing this is because we have Power Whip. Now Power Whip is really nice on this Pokemon because it allows it with a Life Orb to knock out Manaphy from full. And it also allows it, whether it's Calm Mind or not, obviously, which is something that Solar Beam and Giga Drain fail to do if it does Calm Mind boost. And also it allows it to knock out Blissey from full if you Growth. And you do like 70% at neutral. So it's really nice. It's just good for bulky waters, but also letting this VICTREEBEL not be walled by a Blissey, allowing you to knock it out. Doing a ton to Gliscor as well. At +2, you knock out Gliscor as well. So just really, really strong Pokemon. That's why we're Naughty Nature, minus special defense, plus attack. Max speed, max attack. The rest in special attack. You do have the Weather Ball, of course. I already mentioned what Weather Ball hits, but in the sun it becomes a fire type attack, allowing you to knock out Scizor, also knocking out Pokemon like Skarmory as well. Hitting Shedinja too, you know, something that walls VICTREEBEL to an extent. I just put Shedinja there, I don't know why. And then you have Sludge Bomb as well, which is your other stab move, allowing you to just hit neutral on threats like dragons, like Dragonite, as well as Latios, but also super effective damage on Pokemon like Clefable, which with Unaware can eat some of your attacks. Doesn't care about your boost, but if you're threatening it with a strong stab move, it doesn't really matter. I definitely think that if you're using this thing on a Sun team, make sure you have Pokemon that can deal with Heatran, because Heatran does wall this set, whereas a Venusaur would have Earthquake. Next set we have is Fully Special. Now, you don't have to use Power Whip, you can just use Fully Special if you want to go modest. Max special attack, max speed, 4 in special defense. This allows you, basically, you don't have to like get a negative stat in something like with Naughty Nature, you're minus special defense, whereas in this one, who cares about your attack being lowered? But set is Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, and either Solar Beam or Giga Drain. It's really up to you. Giga Drain is better outside of the sun because there are opposing weathers that can stop Solar Beam, making it a 2-turn charge move. And it also gives you recovery, whereas Solar Beam is just super strong. And in the sun, obviously, you know, it's a 1-turn move. There's no charge move, so it depends on that. And the last move is either Sleep Powder or Growth. If you think you can get an opportunity to Growth and Sweep, go for it. Otherwise, Sleep Powder is awesome because it allows you to put the opponent to sleep as long as they're not a grass type or something with Overcoat. It allows you to put the opponent to sleep 75% of the time, giving VICTREEBEL a chance to shine. I think that if you do go Sleep Powder, go for Solar Beam just because it's stronger and you don't have Growth if you're running Sleep Powder to boost your stats. So it just allows you to do a little bit more immediately as opposed to relying on the boost from that. The next set we have is the Choice Spec set. Now, I think this will be better in lower tiers. Right now, obviously, there's only OU and UU, but I think if there are more tiers that do come, I think it's up to them. Apparently, UU was the only tier they were going to stop at, but I feel like 4th Gen had some fantastic like lower tiers, so maybe we'll get even more. But Choice Specs is interesting because VICTREEBEL does have base 100 special attack, so it allows you to kind of just click buttons quickly, especially because it has a really strong special move, and that is Leaf Storm. And Leaf Storm, while it does drop your special attack, is 130 base power though, so it's really spammable, really strong. You have Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, and Sludge Bomb. Those are probably going to be a given. Obviously, when you don't want to go for Leaf Storm, when you don't want to lower your special attack, or when you're in front of a water type and you just want to heal yourself, Giga Drain is a lot more spammable while also healing you. And of course, Sludge Bomb is really nice on the Specs poison type because them fairies are just going to absolutely fall over. But then you have Weather Ball still. And this is not always necessary, but I think that it's cool, especially lower tiers might have things like Hail, like a Bomb to Snow, or you might still see a Torkoal down there, or maybe random rain. Weather Ball is obviously boosted no matter what type of weather. Sandstorm will make it a rock Weather Ball. So I think because Victory Bell doesn't have the best special coverage outside of that, this is just the way you go when you're using a special set. There's no real other move I think that warrants itself over. Maybe like a random knockoff could work here if you want to get rid of like an item on something, but obviously it's not boosted by choice specs. It's just a filler move if anything else. You could also put Sleep Powder, I suppose, too, kind of similar to how like Scarf Breloom still runs Spore, just because Spore is so good and putting an opponent to sleep is just so good. However, the drawback is of Sleep Powder, 75% accurate versus that 100% Spore, which Breloom does have. The next set we have, and all these sets have Chlorophyll just because it's like the main set you want to really use on this Pokemon. You could probably do something with Gluttony plus like the last set, which I'll talk about, but the next set we have is a Swords Dance Sweeper. Now, Victory Bell can also go for Swords Dance. Why would you use Swords Dance over Growth? Well, maybe you want to use 4 physical attacks instead of Weather Ball, and maybe you don't want to have to deal with the fact that Sun is not always going to be up. Also, maybe you're not even fighting Sun in the tier you're using, but Swords Dance Victory Bell also still has that base 105 attack, still hits really hard, can threaten those grass types, can threaten those ground types. You have Swords Dance, Knockoff. Knockoff is your coverage move, basically letting you hit steel types for neutral, but also getting rid of items in general. It's just a strong move to have on a Pokemon. I know some people will be like, what about Leech Life? I don't think bug coverage is the best, personally. Like, the most bug moves we ever go for are something on Buzzwole going for Leech Life versus like a Slowbro or something, but that's because that's stab and that's super effective. Buzzwole's not in the game right now, but in this case, obviously Victory Bell has the Leaf Blade, so it doesn't really have to worry about something like that. Whereas Knockoff just overall gives you good coverage, and getting rid of a Pokemon's item is, that's amazing, right? Like, Pokemon need their items in competitive Pokemon, so getting rid of their items are amazing. But Knockoff is there, but you could, I guess, make some sort of argument for Leech Life just because of the recovery on the Swords Dance set. And you don't have to use this on Sun, but if you do, obviously it's a Swords Dance Sun Sweeper. But that's up to you. Leaf Blade is preferred, I think, over Power Up on this set because you are just going max attack and your Swords Dance boosting anyway. So I don't think you need the... I just think the accuracy on Leaf Blade is a little bit better. I like Power Up more on sets that have Weather Ball because they don't have to deal as much with the answers that Victory Bell has, obviously like Scarm and whatnot, because they have just the Weather Ball there. Basically, it's just the accuracy. It's the main thing over that. You could go Power Up if you want the extra damage. And they have Poison Jab, which is, really good, just 100% accurate. Can poison the opponent. Super effective on fairies. That's basically it. And then the last set we have is one set that we actually used to run on Victory Bell the previous generation that had Z moves, but it was the Strength Stat set. So Victory Bell got access to Strength Stat. This is cool because you have a nice little recovery move. And I used to run this with Z moves, but obviously there's no Z moves in the game. But Rash Nature, max special attack, max speed for attack. The idea is you're more of an annoyance with this Pokemon, right? Obviously, you have your strong Sludge Bomb and your strong Leaf Storm or Giga Drain. Again, it's up to you if you want to use Leaf Storm or Giga Drain. If you're using this in lower tiers as just a way of just dealing and really just KOing those bulky waters, obviously Leaf Storm is just a little bit stronger, or a lot stronger than Giga Drain itself. But Giga Drain for recovery, but you do have Strength Stat for recovery. If you guys didn't know how Strength Stat works, basically it hits your opponent and you heal damage based on their attack stat. So it's nice because Victory Bell doesn't have the most HP anyway. I mean, it's 301, so if the opponent's attack stat is 239, you're healing 239 damage. And then it also lowers their attack by -1. So at the same time, you're making it Victory Bell tankier in that regard, which is nice because it only has 65 base defense. But it's mainly just for heals, especially if you bring this thing in on a bulky water type or ground type. They're more than likely going to switch, and you think they're going to go a steel type or anything really, a flying type that can deal with you. Just go for Strength Stat, and you get the recovery at least out of that turn. But also Sludge Bombing into that will do damage unless to that steel type. But then Knockoff just for the support option and just to be more of an annoyance and give you some other options with Victory Bell. Overall, I think it's a Sun Sweeper. I think it's very good as a Sun Sweeper. And as long as your team can deal with Heat Train, I think it can do a lot. But that's all I have for you guys today. I'll be using Victory Bell later today on a Pokemon Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Showdown Live. So stay tuned for that. If you guys do enjoy, make sure you subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, my friends.